The day. It's time for the incoming junior class presidential debate. My name is Daniel Sirota. I'll be moderating this one. And joining me are three candidates for office. We have incumbent President Jamie Ceruto.
How are you?
Next up, we have Sophie Wasserman. And last but not least, Alex Weiss.
Hello.
So we're going to begin with our opening statements as we did last year. Jamie, since you are the incumbent president, you may begin.
Well, thank you, Dan. I first want to thank Studio 462, Mr. Rhodes, the high school administration for putting on this debate. I think this is a perfect opportunity for the class of 2020 in Millburn High School to really hear the candidates speaking and be better educated for tomorrow. As Dr. Myron says, educated voters are most important. Class of 2020, I want to promise you that I will continue to do a tremendous job. I think our administration has been fantastic, Vice President, Treasurer, Secretary, myself. But through my leadership, we have raised a tremendous amount of money. We've worked with so many people, moved our class in the high school forward. And as president next year, I can promise that we will continue to support you, represent you, and win as a high school.
All right, thank you very much. Next up, we have Sophie for her opening statement.
Hi, my name is Sophie Wasserman. I made the big decision to run for class president because I think that there are a couple of issues in our class that aren't really being well represented and well dealt with. One of those is that there's this huge issue with stress and mental health. The other is that there's a lack of community engagement. And the third is that there's this necessity for fundraising that I don't think we're really tapping into yet. I think we can solve this by having more fundraising, by teaming up with the downtown. I also think that we should be doing more fundraisers like yoga in order to help less stress. I think with the whole hour that we have next year for lunch, we should designate a couple classrooms for yoga, for naps. I also think that there should be more community involvement.
All right, thank you very much. Last but not least, Alex, go ahead.
Hi, everyone. I'm Alex, and I'm running for class president because I feel like there's plenty of things that we can improve on as a class. Among many of my friends, we don't go to many class events. There's not that much spirit, and that's something that we definitely need to focus on as a class to make sure that everyone's involved and everyone feels welcome. We need to make sure that we're fundraising enough money for all the events that we want to run in the future to help eliminate stress. And especially, stress also has been a very big problem I've seen among my friends, among many people in the school, and that we can definitely make events. As Sophie said, the hour during lunch can be used for many different things. We can run activities before, after, during school that help people with their stress and help them deal with everything going on in their life. So if you elect me, I'll make sure that the class of 2020 is the best class in Millburn High School.
All right, thank you very much, Alex. We're going to move on to our main portion of the debate. That is the question round of debates. We're going to go down the line, ask you a question, actually two questions for the entirety of the debate, and you have about 30 seconds to respond. So, Jamie, we're going to start with you. Back in December, each grade showed a lot of support for their grade at the Battle of the Classes. Outside of that event, what's one way that you can continue to show school spirit and overall spirit for your grade?
Well, Dan, I think over the past 2 years, we have really been moving in the right direction. We have improved our pep rallies tremendously. I've been working with Mr. Bafuco in that athletic office almost every day, trying to figure out how our student athletes can be engaged, how our club athletes can get back into the high school, supporting our athletic programs, trying to boost communication about our wonderful events, our basketball games, our football games, spreading the news about different colors. Battle of Classes was a tremendous success. We had a huge outpouring. We won second place hallway. I look forward to beating Molly and those incoming seniors next year. But what I think we really need to focus on is continuing to be receptive to change. We have a lot of students who will leave early to go to when pep rallies arise, will not check their communication. If we take some initiative as a class, and I look forward to promoting this initiative, I think we can be even more successful. We are doing extremely well, I can tell you that, and we can only do better. Extremely well right now. I couldn't see us doing any worse.
All right, thank you very much, Jamie. Our next question is for Sophie. So, Sophie, fundraising is a critical part of class office, especially a job that the president is tasked with. Nowadays, fundraising isn't so much putting money into a jar and whatnot. It's more about interacting with your classmates and whatnot, and overall interaction. So, what's one way that you can help raise money for the class of 2020?
Yeah, definitely. I think that a lot of the fundraising is kind of being a little, it's kind of slacking a little. I think it's being a little basic. So I think that one way that we can improve our fundraising is by communicating with the downtown. I think that the downtown right now is suffering a little, and I think that one of the plans that I have is a breakfast club. I think that what it will do is we'll communicate with some of the vendors. Let's say it's Goldberg's, and we'll bring them in and we'll order a bunch of meals from them, and then we'll sell them in the mornings. And so you can buy them, and we'll get them from them from a discounted rate, you know. And so more people are getting breakfast in the morning, which means an overall healthier life. And it basically ensures that we're supporting our town while also supporting our class. And we'll use the proceeds that we make in order to put into community service, in order to pay for our prom and our senior celebration.
Thank you very much. And our next question is for Alex. So, class presidents have the power to create really amazing events. There are certainly a significant list of some really amazing events. But spreading the word of those events can be a weakness for some presidents. So, as it's known, not everyone has a Facebook account or any form of social media. So, what's another way that you can help spread the word and overall achieve communication throughout your entire class?
Okay, so communication has been an issue over the past couple years. The Facebook group is great. A lot of people are on it, but there are definitely people that don't check their Facebook often, but that some people even don't have a Facebook. One of my friends just recently got a Facebook account just a couple days ago. So one of the things that we could do is focus on less on Facebook and more on just older communication like texting. One of the events I've gone to recently had a text bot. It was on Facebook Messenger, but it could also be expanded to normal texting on a phone. That like you can ask the bot if there are any activities coming up, if there are any events coming up, and it'll respond to you quickly. It can send schedules out for days that there are different schedules. It was a very powerful tool, especially since there was a lot of information that needed to come out about the event, and also we can move towards the other means of communication inside the school. There are flyers that we can use. There are televisions in the school that aren't used as effectively as I believe they should be, and those are some ways that I feel like communication could be improved in our grade.
Okay, thank you very much. Our second question for Sophie. Events are a key part to your success as a class president. What are some events that you'd like to host this coming year to help keep the class of 2020 engaged and active throughout the year?
I think the way to keep people active is to create an emotional connection. And I think the way to do that is by doing community service. I really believe in the power of community service. And I think that by having fundraisers that aren't just led by the class officers, that are led by everyone, where everyone is able to put in their input and to lead all of these successful fundraisers. I also think that some of the fundraisers last year and the events were successful, but I think we should institute new ones. Like, I think that the trucks this year were successful, but I think that there was a lack of organization. I also think that we should institute puppy yoga and fun things that really encourage people to help out and be supportive of their grade.
Thank you very much. And our second question now for Jamie. Stress is a big part of a student's life, unfortunately. This past year, the Student Center brought in many stress-reducing activities, such as therapy dogs, and don't forget about the extended lunches throughout the year. Since, as I mentioned, stress is a part of a student's life, what's one way that you as class president can help reduce the level of stress?
Well, class of 2020, I can assure you that I have been working with the Health and Wellness Department almost as much as the athletic department. Miss Daza, Miss Randazza, I have a Health and Human Services Director that I've appointed. We've been communicating, as I said, more than daily, and it really is important to teach the students how to be resilient, how to be persistent, and to meet their goals. Goal setting is so important. In my position as president, I'm able to publicize a lot of the activities of the Student Center, but I'm also able to be a role model and show that time management is key, and good communication is key. I use emails, I use Facebook. my own Snapchat story, my social media to communicate about things. But it really goes back to taking self-initiative. Going into junior year, we're going to have SATs, ACTs, a lot of important things going on. So communication, our longer lunch, which I've really been strategic in trying to work towards and put in the input of the class and myself with, I think is going to solve a lot of these problems. And I look forward to really expanding on the capabilities of the new schedule. But I'm asking for your vote tomorrow, and I hope you'll select my name during homeroom.
Okay, thank you very much. And our last question for Alex as well, just to be fair so that everyone gets 2 questions, we'd like to ask you the same question about stress reducing. So what's one way that you can help reduce stress for your class of 2020?
A lot of kids that in our grade especially have a lot of stress. They want to take as many AP classes as they can. They have a lot of homework, and the extended lunches have been great. But from my experience, a lot of kids, all they do during their extended lunch is they do more homework so they can sleep more. So that's one of the things I could definitely be focused on, is helping kids with homework. I've been involved with a couple people helping start a club where people can ask for help for homework. They can be paired up with tutors if they need help from other students that have taken those classes, have had the same teachers that they have. That's something really powerful that could be used. And there are also many big things coming up in our lives: college applications, standardized testing, and we need to make sure that kids are prepared and understand everything that's going on with those tests.
Okay, thank you very much, Alex. Now we're going to wrap things up a little bit. We'd like to continue on with our closing statements from each candidate. So, Alex, since the camera is already on you, let's begin with your closing statement.
Okay, so if you vote for me tomorrow, it's box number 3 on the ballot. I'll make sure that there's better communication in our grade, that we have better events, that everyone's less stressed, and I'll make sure that I'll do a great job as student president. So please vote for me.
Thank you very much. Sophie, your closing statements.
Hi. I believe that if you vote for me for class president, I will make sure that there's less stress because people will be more prepared. You know, they'll have the information that they need. And with my new initiatives, such as the Alumni Alliance, people will be able to talk to other alumni of Millburn and be able to ask them questions and see what their route was. I don't think anything get done without new initiatives. I really think that nothing get done without trying something new, and I think that this is what needs to be tried. I think that people need more service, people need more engagement, and if you vote for me, I promise that. Thanks.
All right, thank you, Sophie. And finally, Jamie Cerruto, your closing statement.
Class of 2020, we have made huge strides over the last 2 years. In my presidency, we have worked with Downtown Millburn. I'm already in communication with the Downtown Millburn Development Alliance for this upcoming summer, planning for Battle of the Classes. We've raised so much money, from the discount sticker program to California Pizza Kitchen, starting small initiatives with different small bake sales and small events, working with the athletic department, health and wellness. I'm really here for you, and I hope that I've proved myself. You can get to my campaign website, tinyurl.com/Jamie4Prez. Thank you, Dan. Thank you, Studio 462. I'm here for you, class of 2020. I'm here for you, Millburn High School. I am the president of the class of 2020, and I look forward to be taking office again. If you select me on the ballot, select me, number 1, Jamie Cerruto, for president. And thank you to all the candidates. This has really been a tremendous debate, and let's have a great Thursday. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Jamie. As a reminder, your candidates for a rising junior class president tomorrow are Jamie Cerruto, Sophie Wasserman, and Alex Weiss. Voting will be tomorrow morning in homeroom, and stay tuned on Studio 462 because coming up next we have our sophomore class presidential debates with moderator Ashna Morjani. We'll see you in a bit.
Thanks, Stan.